Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So this is the second part of the same session that we had, and we'll be starting off with the queries. All right. So let me just let the people in first. Cool. Okay, so there was a query that English weak है इंटरव्यू कैसे क्रैक होगा अच्छी फॉर्म में आर्टिकलशिप करनी. See, if your English is weak, I will tell you the four elements of any language that you should follow to have good English. First is reading. When you read English, you get comfort that you're able to understand the language. Okay. Furthermore, when you read English, you gain vocabulary. You get to know about the good words and you get better understanding of the language. Is your writing. When you express yourself in English in written manner, you get to know the words, the meanings of the words. And when you get stuck somewhere, no, I want to say, suppose I want to say an expression, suppose I want to say delighted, and suppose I'm stuck a word and I'm not sure how to pronounce it, how to spell it. That's also a way of learning English. Then is your right speaking. When you speak English, you have to understand that you should have a fluency where you don't fumble, where you don't make a fool out of yourself, okay, and where you pronounce correctly. So that's also something that you should focus on. Last, you have listening. Listening English is proven to be one of the many effective ways to understand people with different regions who belong to different regions to understand how they pronounce certainly, right? So what I generally recommend is if you want to improve your English, start speaking and start listening. Writing, reading, do it later. First, start speaking and start listening. All right. So, start with some good TV series. For example, you can start with Suits. You can start with The Big Bang Theory. All these series, they have good English and they also are something which teach you life lessons. Okay. So don't waste your time around on the Vampire Diaries. ये वो. It's a total waste of time for me. Try some knowledgeable series like Suits. Suits is a very good series. You can try that. I'm currently watching it for the second time, so even you can try it. Then try listening to English songs. The Weekend, all these songs, you love the songs. At least this will make a comfort on the language and start speaking. If you don't have people who are conversing in English, try the articles only who are trying to prepare for good interviews. You can try to interact with them in English. Uh, Try to speak English in front of the mirror. Okay, I've tried that a lot of times. It helps to gain confidence. It helps to even improve your communication skills. So try all of this. Okay. Yes, Anurag, of course you can ask. Further filling exam form and
Actually, I
Anurag,
wanted to know that
एक second. Yeah, now tell me.
actually the thing is I have already worked 1 year as an article in a mid-sized firm in Kolkata. Recent, matlab, like last I was doing CMA, okay, but I left it and I have come into CA. And now I'm thinking like if I clear my group two in my 25 and wanted to join in a big four, like I have a mid-sized firm experience. I know basic work, idea filing, GST, repos, and balance sheet drafting and all, or
Oh,
internal audit, stock audits and all. I know that much. So I want to ask, like, if I wanted to join in a big four firm or a big six or a big 10 in a particular domain, and I have interest in GST and tax, like particularly in GST. So everybody is telling me like you will not be able to manage your studies with your big four timings. Like specifically, my question is, what is the timing of the big four working hours? Like, what are the working hours specific? And in peak seasons, like from August to October, like tax audit period, like what are the working hours? And I want to know how do you manage your final studies? I hope it's been 4 months and you have also started your final preparations. So I want to know that. How are you managing your studies? Like how many hours you are getting
I
after
understand.
doing each and everything? Like
Anything,
I am also
anything
a YouTube
else?
content creator. So I want to know that.
Got
I
that.
hope I made myself clear.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So see, first thing with the Big Fours is that uh, it depends upon your team, your work timing, your holidays. your comp offs, your work from home, everything depends upon your team. So I'll answer on my team and then I'll tell you the general framework, okay? So we are allowed to get into the office till 10:30, 11, and generally we leave around 7, 7:30. Okay, but there have been days when we sometimes have to come early to do some work. We have to, sometimes we even leave a bit later, or we leave at 6 also when we don't have work. So it's not like all the days are the same. Okay. Next, about the peak seasons, anything can happen at that time. You may be asked to come at 10 a.m. and you may be asked to leave by 12. So things like that happen, but it doesn't happen every day. It will happen for some days, maybe during the closing part. But at the end of the day, what I feel is that you can accommodate everything. See, I'll tell you what I do. I have a timetable kind of a thing that I have to do this at this. So whenever it comes to regarding the content creation, regarding the LinkedIn posts, I do all those things whenever I have time. Okay. It's not something fixed कि मैंने आज ही करना है. If I don't have time, I don't do it. You may have observed that there have been 10, 15 days when I didn't post anything on LinkedIn. It was because I wasn't free. All right. But whenever I'm free, I write posts, I save them to schedule later. That's what I do with YouTube also. I record, I save them to schedule later. And then I post whenever I feel that today I have to post. That's how I manage. So whenever I get the time, I try to plan for the future so that I have some backup that even if in future I'm not free, I'll be able to post. That's the content creation. About the studies, I've made it a rule that I have to study for these many hours every day. For now, I'm able to dedicate 4 hours every day to my studies. Okay. And that does not include any time that I travel. I even study sometimes during my traveling because I travel by bus. So I have time to review my own notes. I have time to go through my YouTube lectures or something. Okay. I haven't purchased classes yet because I'm still a part of BCom. So I have to prepare for my college also. So I'm waiting for the college to get over and then to start with CA, like whole CA. For now, I've started with the SPOM, correct? So I'm managing everything, be it the college, be it SPOM, be it CA final, and I've started with the financial reporting and audit. Okay. So that's how I have started my journey. So at the end of the day, it depends upon you how many hours you get, what is your study cycle. My schedule cannot be generalized because I have a particular study cycle, I have a particular sleep cycle, I have fixed hours for everything. I may not take that much time to eat, somebody else might. I take 1.5 hours to travel, somebody may take just 10 minutes, and I don't drive, I'm in the bus, so I can dedicate that time also. Correct. That's how it depends for everybody. But if I talk about the big fours, I think you can manage everything. You can manage your time, you can manage your studies, and you can manage your content creation also. It's not a big deal. Okay, so
Thank you.
now, no worries. How do we get reference of a partner? Like we can directly ask them on LinkedIn. Yes, you can directly ask partners, managers, directors on LinkedIn to refer you. They do refer you. Uh, Stipend in Bangalore. All over India, the stipend for articles is the same. It is 15,000 for the first year. And for the second year, it is 20,000 for article trainees. I don't think in India, anywhere you will have more stipend than the big fours. How to choose the domains? I'll answer that towards the end because a lot of questions regarding the domains were there. Hmm, I have a question. Portal vacancies. Ruchika, I've shared a YouTube short on portal vacancies. You'll have to go through my YouTube for that. You'll find how to search for portal vacancies, how to decide between stat and internal audit. I want to be a corporate carrier. Both the Lakshay, both are in corporates only. For stat and internal, you should understand what are the work areas that we get. For start, we have a very well-defined system. For internal audit, every team has their own decision making. So you should ask people. Suppose I'm a stat, so I'll tell you what we do in stat. Ask people who are internal audit. You will get a hang of what work they do, what are the future prospects, and then choose your domain accordingly. That is all from the last session. Now, from this session that we have gotten so far, hmm, How's the office for English? It's fine. It's good. Uh, should SPOM be focused first or final classes? I say do both because SPOM you just have MCQ, so you don't have to study that much. But for CA final, the sooner the better. How to decide between stat and internal? Just told you you have to first understand what do you want in life. Second, you have to understand what the work area are like, what the work areas are like, and third, you have to understand what is the future scope of that domain. Both domains are good. But in stat audit, we have swords hanging on our heads because we can be jailed if we get caught somewhere due to the code of ethics of ICAI and NAFRA. Master's degree along with CA Articleship, even I am planning that, but in CA Articleship, you don't get many holidays. So your articleship gets extended. So I will suggest that you either do from a distance learning where only you have to go for the exams and in the same city you have to go to. Other than that, I will not say hamper. Don't hamper your articleship with another course because as it is, you have to prepare for CA final also. So don't do that. Selecting the domain. See, for any domain that you want to select for CA articleship or even after qualifying as a chartered accountant, you should always focus on the domains uh, where you know which is what is the kind of work they offer, and second, what is the future prospect. How to do that? You can message me on LinkedIn. You can ask them, right. Guys, please mute yourself. Thank you. You can ask them what is their work like, what clients do they work on, what kind of work culture is there in their domain. Similarly, you can choose your domain, but it should always be your interest area. Whether we can shift domain, yes, you can shift domain, but it takes a lot of time in that. I think better is to go for industrial if you want to shift the domain. Why do you want to join the firm? See, it will have a lot of questions, a lot of answers to that question. I particularly told my interviewer that I want to join EY because I feel that the people in EY whom I know, they have had great experiences and they have been happy with the work-life balance. And further, when I did the forage certifications, I thought that the company who is trying to teach us how to do this, how to do that, how to perfectly work on these kind of factors, I felt that this is a company that will work on my personal growth as well. And that is true. So that's how I tackled that question. You should develop your own answer. Your approach should be always to answer in a personal, like with a personal touch answer. Don't answer a generalized question. Ask whatever you feel is right. Mm, notice period 3 months for articles in Big Fours. Interview preparation already shared on YouTube. Aman, please refer to that. Prepare for interviews. Where you should prepare your C intermediate syllabus primarily, and if you don't have time, there are a lot of PDFs in the market. I've shared on WhatsApp already. There you will have this interview guide. You can prepare from that. Mm, सी मास्टर्स अगर करना ही है तो प्लीज आफ्टर आर्टिकलशिप करना है, एंड मास्टर्स डिस्टेंस करना है तो सिम्बोयसिस कराता है, आई थिंक सिम्बोयसिस डिस्टेंस लर्निंग आरसी मोंजी का भी है. यू कैन डू दैट. फॉरेज एज एन एप्लीकेशन चित्राक्षी, इट इज एन ऐप जिसके अंदर यू विल हैव बिग फोर्स, बिग थ्रीज और बहुत सारी कंपनीज का यू विल हैव सर्टिफिकेशंस फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट. यू कैन डू दैट. Vacancies are available. How to reach out? The vacancies are available. They will be updated on LinkedIn or on their careers portal. You can approach the persons who have posted the vacancy. Great. Now, I have a question that regarding interview, RN Shah requires some guidance for Big Fours, Big Six firms in Ahmedabad. See, regarding your interview, only prepare your CA intermediate syllabus. Focus on your CV, whatever you have mentioned in your CV. They can ask anything that that you wrote in your CV. Furthermore, also focus on some current affairs, some domain related questions, all of things they can ask you. Then, Nitesh, unable to clear CA intermediate in November 23, May 24, cleared Group 1 in September 24, Group 2 in Jan 25. Will I be able to get articleship in Big Six? Yes, you will be able to get articleship in the Big Sixes if you have strong reference. When you have attempt, you need reference. Uh, you've had 4 exemptions, searching for articleship. Okay. See, if a firm is rejecting industrial training and if you are not getting any backup option, you should consider a firm which is going to allow you industrial training. Firstly, understand one thing, industrial training is for those who can work under good amount of pressure. Okay. And you don't want to compromise your articleship on that because understand one thing, industrial training comes in the second year of articleship. Okay. And at that point of time, your study pressure increases. So you have to understand that will you be able to take that kind of pressure or not. That's why industrial training, you should make up your mind first. Don't just think abhi ki abhi wo firm reject kar rahi hai because of industrial training, so I won't join there. You never know what will happen 1 year later. Correct? So don't reject a firm just because they are saying they won't allow industrial. Hmm. See, if your results aren't declared yet, please, okay, you have a college also. See, if your college is allowing you the NOC, then you can join your firm just after your results are out for Jan 25. This is for Juhi. If your results are out and you want to apply, you can apply. But if you're in college, uh, it will only be allowed by ICAI if your college gives you NOC. So if you don't have the NOC, then you'll have to wait till your results are out. Your BCom is completed. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, you want?
Thank you, Didi.
Yeah, yes, tell me.
One thing that I want to ask, why they prefer the recent attempt students over the one who have qualified prior to that attempt, but couldn't apply just for the because of their college. Because in our college, the attendance is a major
I know,
issue.
I know. That happens in DU mostly. See, Juhi. It's a very normal rule actually in any company, be it even outside articleship. If you see, it's a very specific rule for the HRs. They always seek the fresh candidates, right? Because of the age factor, you can say, experience factor, you can say. They just want assets for the company, and for that matter, they will always require the freshers. That's the only reason. But even if you are not able to join the firm because of your college, seek a good reference, explain that to the person who wants to refer you. You will definitely get good interviews. I have seen people who have waited for their college to over and then also they've gotten into the big four. So it's not a big deal. You want to know about the domains? Fine. References works. I'll explain that also. Um, I,
Excuse me.
yes, Juhi.
One thing, sorry to interrupt you. One thing that I also want to know is that I'm aspiring to go for Mumbai, but I'm currently in Delhi. Should I sit for interviews and gain confidence and then ask the HR if they can shift to Bombay, or should I go first settle myself in Bombay and then go for interview there?
You should apply in Mumbai only and relocate to Mumbai only when you have an offer in hand. Don't relocate before that.
All right. Thank you so much.
No worries, all the best. Okay, so this is the last WhatsApp query before the domain one. I don't think there's any other query. It's from Mohit, cleared group 1 in May 24, group 2 in Jan 25. Um, lost complete track of group 1 papers. Should I read group 1 again? Okay. See, if you have lost the track of any of the group 1 papers, you should definitely go through the subject again because it depends upon the kind of domain you're wanting to get yourself into. If you're getting into risk advisory, which is internal audit, you will be asked questions of, so you should be prepared for that. Furthermore, even if you have had attempts, if you have good references, you can get into the top firms. It doesn't matter. If you have exemptions, yes, it helps you to get into the big fours. Now, WhatsApp queries are over. We have now WhatsApp queries. How to search for active HRs. See, the HRs who are posting on LinkedIn, no, those are the active HRs, and you can get their contacts as they share their emails. So that's how you get the contacts of the active HRs. Mm, LLB or MBA? Neha, it depends upon the kind of domain you want to get into. If you want to get into legislations and all, you should go for LLB. But if you want to get into the finance domain, then MBA in finance is going to help you a lot. Can you provide how to make the best and attractive CV? See, if you want to make a good CV, you should add extracurricular activities and achievements which will help you stand out from the rest of the crowd. And you should also work on the proper indentation, proper formatting, highlighting the things which should be in bold so that the HR can actually find what she's looking for. Furthermore, you can add some result oriented achievements. For example, if you were a part of some MUN organizing committee, you can say that you led so and so team and you led the marketing team and you were able to attract 200 plus candidates in 2 weeks. Something like that. When you write something result oriented, it's always a good CV. Then, okay, I have had a lot of questions, but okay. Result declaration. What should we start? Okay. If your results are declared on Tuesday, I feel see, you should message the HRs early morning, like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. So when your results are declared, suppose it's declared at 9 a.m., you can start mailing the HRs on the same day. Otherwise, do it on the next day. Then, hi, Anshika. Okay. Understanding the domains. Mm, Okay. See, if you find both of the domains interesting, stat and internal, and you're not able to choose between DT or audit, it's okay. Uh, See, I understand that you find both the domains interesting. Even I did at my time. I wanted to get into audit, but I had no preference as to stat or internal. But see, in stat audit, you have a lot more responsibilities, a lot more work pressure in the audit, peak audit season. But in internal audit, you have pressure all over the entire year. And the work is totally different in both of the domains. So, what I'll recommend is you talk to the seniors one more time. You understand what is the work like, what are we supposed to do? Because in stat, somewhere it gets monotonous because we have to test the areas. And in internal, there's a lot more to learn. So I will recommend that you understand from the people who are in those domains and have experience. Don't ask the articles. Articles are not given much work. The seniors, the execs, they are given more work. Difference between internal risk advisory, no difference, Kavya. Risk advisory is internal audit and Big Fours. You haven't taken my question. Tushar. Hmm. You want articleship in IDT? Currently, there is no vacancy. Pass in September 24 candidate. Wait for 1-1. Okay. Got it. Tushar, see, I'll be very honest. I saw a lot of IDT vacancies when I was sharing them on the group, okay? And I have no idea how you missed out, but it's okay if you missed out. What I'll recommend right now is that you approach the senior authorities as it is the Jan result is going to come out day after tomorrow, correct? Message people, the directors, partners, managers of your desired location, message them and try to get into any of the big fours. If not, have a backup option ready for yourself. But I feel that IDT is a very, it's a very, what do I say, less competitive field. DT is a competitive field. IDT is not a very, it's not a very competitive field. So you can get in that. If you have good reference, of course you can get that. ATS, what kind of keyword should we induce? See, ATS is nothing, it's just a friendly software and it reviews your CV. It's what the big fours use for plagiarism or uh, they use it for the testing of proper details. And it's a software which rejects your CV if it's not in the proper format. And mostly the CVs which are made on Canvas and all that, sorry, Canva and all that those CVs get rejected. So ATS friendly is nothing but a system software which basically extracts all your data from your CV and puts into the computer system. That is what ATS friendly software. Any keywords, that's not how ATS works. ATS works on the proper intonation and proper content that you've written. But if you want keywords, highlight communication skills, technical skills, IT skills, leadership, and all that. Highlight all these things. Provide my CV. My CV is already on LinkedIn. Please refer to that. You can't take, Ruchika, in Big Fours, what happens is you can't take leaves for your exam preparation of BCom. You can only take leaves on the exam day, and nobody's going to grant you leaves for your preparation. Even I am not granted leaves for preparation. You may be granted work from home if you have to go to another city, but no, you will not be granted leaves. D, like you said, big firms subject to specific domains are DT or IDT. These firms should we take up or should we go to audit? Very much more. It's not like that. Big fours, they will give exposure to you in every domain, be it DT, IDT, or audit. It is absolutely your choice which domain you want to choose. Whichever domain where your interest lands, choose that. I don't think, Neha, you need anything more than CA to add value to your journey. CA is good enough, but you can add on. See, when you are in Big Fours, no, you get a lot of like we get a lot of benefits. Like we have Coursera, we have Udemy, we have free Udemy, so we can get a lot of certifications from that only. So all these things you can do, and if you're doing articleship in Big Four, I don't think you need anything else for your CA degree. Ruchika, interviews can begin even on the same day. It's not surprising with Big Fours. I don't think regarding the shares and everything. In industrial training, you have that domain. You have equity research and all that. But in Big Fours, I don't think for articleship we have. No, we don't. You may have some areas in audit to test all that, but I don't think you will have something regarding the issue of shares. Maybe you may have some clients who are going for IPO. So in that case, you might have some work, but that will be an audit only. I don't think in any other domain you will have that. Mm, no, don't, guys, simply don't relocate yourself when you want to do articleship in some other city or state. Wait for the offer. When you've received the offer, only then relocate. Fine, this meeting will end in 10 minutes. That's okay. Don't remove the education table. It is how it is supposed to be in Big Four articleship. Don't worry about that. Okay, I think I've answered all the questions. Uh, yes, regular college candidates are preferred in Big Fours more. If you want to practice, is Big Four good or mid-size? Aman, again, it's up to you. I've seen people who try to go to mid-size, but what happens is that they are jackal of all but master of none, so they end up ruining their own careers. So it depends. Uh, Big Fours or good mid-size firms. Uh, it depends upon what kind of work they're offering you. How are you learning? Because exposure everywhere you'll get exposure. ऐसा नहीं है कि mid size में you won't get learning. It depends upon how much you're able to grasp it. I started this. Oh God. Yeah, it's absolutely okay, but don't mention that in the CV. Like, okay, you can mention that in the CV, but don't talk about it in the interview if you're doing of some other Big Four, because then they're going to take it as that you don't want to get into this Big Four. You are just interviewing here. I did not try anything. I don't even know how to start that. Any more questions you have, guys? Please feel free to ask. We
दी
have
मेरी एक क्वेरी है
हाँ जी बताओ.
मेरे को ना ये समझ नहीं आ रहा कि इंटरव्यू के लिए कितना स्पेसिफिकली पढ़ना चाहिए, चाहे वो बिग फोर हो चाहे वो मिड साइज हो भाई। हर पूरी बुक तो नहीं पढ़ पाएंगे ना वैसे हम, और अच्छे से तो नहीं पढ़ी जाएगी ना जैसे हम क्लासेस में पढ़ते हैं।
I'll tell you. Like second, Ruchika is saying, have I my format? Yeah, I've shared the cover letter also, Ruchika. Please, you can find that in LinkedIn. I'll have to search through my profile once, but I'll share that on the group. Okay. Sapna, you asked that. See, Sapna, I'll be very honest. In Big Four interviews or in mid-size interviews, you can ask and you can be asked anything. You can be asked TDS rates. You can be asked simplest of audit procedures. You can be asked. For example, if I'm asking that, how will you audit bank reconciliation statement? Its answer is
हम्म।
reperformance or recalculation. Okay. Now, this is a very specific audit concept, and it is on some page, and it is we have four concepts. You will remember we have reperformance, recalculation, all these we have four, five things that we have to do in audit. Okay. So now all these things they are your knowledge. That's something which you remember. For example, aging analysis kya hota hai, right? What are the non-sampling errors? Okay, what are the non-sampling audit risks? All these things. So all these things they are your basic knowledge of the subject. So at the end of the day, your subject knowledge matters. It doesn't matter कि तुमने एक दिन में कितना पढ़ लिया इंटरव्यू के लिए. What matters is how well you
हम्म।
study in those 6 months for your for your preparation of CA intermediate.
तो अगर अभी पढ़ना शुरू करें हम तो कितना पढ़ना चाहिए, और हमें किस तरह से थोड़ा थोड़ा करके पढ़ना चाहिए सब कुछ
अगर
पढ़ना
when if you start right now, at the end of the day, when you'll have your interview, what have you studied before your exams? That will matter more than what you studied.
चाहिए?
Right now, you are just brushing up your concepts. So brush up your concepts and try to work on the basics more than anything else for now. Should
ओके दी,
study
थैंक्स।
for like अगर एक डोमेन का पढ़ रहे हो so you will have to know कि क्या क्या सब्जेक्ट पढ़ना है. You have a lot of PDFs. Go through that also once. ठीक है.
ठीक है।
Now tell me what is important to study. Aman, please tell me the domain and I'll be able to tell you. In stat audit, you are not asked about TDS, TCS, but for internal audit, you are asked about TDS, TCS, GST basics, क्योंकि उसमें सब कुछ का यूज होता है. स्टैट में इतना नहीं होता, थोड़ा बहुत होता है. GST and accounts. See, for IDT, AS, GST, everything, budget, and furthermore, some general your CV questions, but I don't think you'll be asked anything else. DT का थोड़ा बहुत कुछ पूछ सकते हैं, but not much. Total expected round of Big Fours. See, 4 to 5 होते हैं generally. HR round, your technical round, director round, GD sometimes, and you may also have another managerial round. वो हर किसी का नहीं होता. Sometimes you also have the online tests, so almost 5 you can estimate. Currently, I'm in second year and third year in college. We have compulsory and ID practicals, which is for one day. No, Big Four will not allow you to do this. See, if your college is giving you NOC, no, then Big Fours will not have a problem. But they will only allow you to take your exams and they'll give you a holiday on that day. But practicals and all, even if you have for like 2 hours, you may be granted half day or something. So it depends upon your manager. Everything depends upon your managers. What they say, that's what is going to happen with you. See, for distance learning, I have no idea. I don't even know if you guys require NOC. I think for distance learning, you will require NOC because you will be registered under one university. You should ask your college admin block. They will let you know because somebody will be applying for CA Articleship before you know. That's how you should ask them only.
दी, अगर हम आर्टिकलशिप ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं तो हमें पहले ही पूछना पड़ेगा उनसे कि भाई इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग तुम अलाउ करोगे या नहीं?
Yeah, you have to ask them.
ठीक।
Okay, guys, we have 3 minutes until this meeting ends. Do you have any more questions?
Like I have one question.
Yeah, Tushar.
Like I have offer from one firm. They are saying they will not give transfer and industrial training. And that is in different domain. That is not in DT or IDT. It is in accounts and business support domain in which I have to do compliance work. Should I take that for now and take transfer for after some time if they
If
allow?
allowing you transfer, how will you take transfer?
No, like if I said I'm due to medical emergency, I have to take a transfer.
They won't allow you. If they've made clear in your interviews only that they won't allow you to transfer industrial, even if you say medical, they will say take leave, but they won't allow you to transfer. I will suggest that, see, first thing is this domain is not something which I will recommend for CA articleship. Okay. And as it is, you want an IDT. So wait for some time. You will have better opportunities. Okay. Try in Nangia. I swear I saw some vacancy a few days ago in Nangia. Try messaging the seniors of Nangia. Nangia is a Big Ten firm. Any other questions, guys? You can put on the chat box. Okay, then in the next session, we'll discuss about leadership domains. And if you have any further doubts, we'll take up there. Works? Great, guys. See you in the next session. I'll start at around 4:45. Okay, take a 15 minute. Do you have ideas of what time we could join the firm? See, it depends upon the joining date which the HR sets. If suppose your interviews have taken 1 month, so the entire March your interviews have gotten, they may tell you to join the next week, or you may delay your joining by 1 or 2 weeks. So it happens like that. Great. Okay. See you then. Bye.